work here?
Yeah.
How old are you?
13.
Oh my God. Is that even allowed?
What?
Is that even allowed?
Yeah, it is.
13?
Yeah.
But do you know like your multiplication chart?
Oh, no, I know. So my dad owns the store.
Oh, your dad owns it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That man apparently ran into a 13-year-old hanging out in a Chick-fil-A working. I'm not sure if you should have been asking him all these questions, but still, we find that there's a 13-year-old working at a Chick-fil-A because his dad owns it. I'm sure many mom and pops have done things like this before, but one thing happening in Iowa is they're looking to make this easy for anyone. And guess who's taken notice to that? Big businesses like McDonald's. Let's look at this image that the Burn Identity posted. I would have been ready to swear that this is a fake photoshopped sign. She points out Chick-fil-A is not alone in exploiting children for cheap labor. In Iowa, she says, yes, that's a real sign at a McDonald's advertising to hire 14 and 15-year-olds. I still can't believe it. I feel like maybe she's mistaken. Someone had a really good Photoshop job here. But they're proposing this extreme child labor laws. There's a couple of them that they're putting together to make sure that maybe more 13-year-olds can work. Maybe it's the whole thing about how they're concerned that people don't want to work for these non-livable wages, and they keep saying everyone that works at, say, fast food to restaurants to, I guess, gas stations, anything like that, must be 15 and 16-year-olds. Let's go ahead and lower it a little bit more. But anytime you advertise, we're hiring 14 and 15-year-olds, bring your kids on down, make it good to go. Let's find out what they're doing in Iowa. More Perfect Union pointed out some of these things that they're trying to push. It's disgusting.
Do you have a quick minute to do
what is it on?
Quick youth employment.
I'm going to pass on that. That's Iowa State Senator Jason Schultz. He's the sponsor of the most dramatic rollback of child labor protections in the nation, even if he doesn't want to talk about it.
No, I'm going to pass on that. I'm just kind of stepping back on that one. I'm going to not get into any conversations. I'm going to stay away from that, although you might find out later why. Oh. There you go. There's your tease.
The Iowa bill takes child labor law rollbacks to the next level. Iowa Republicans want to allow kids between the ages of 14 to 17 to work in incredibly dangerous, often deadly workplaces. Places like construction sites where more than 5,000 workers died last year. As it's set up now, there would be virtually no restrictions. The job would just have to be part of an education program.
That's all it takes, an education program. And as we go to your thoughts on this agent, let's not forget, if we look at this tweet from So Sick Y'all, I love that handle, there's Sarah Huckabee Sanders, governor out there in Arkansas, signing similar legislation that would force those 3 children to look very happy to be standing next to her to work as soon as possible. Maybe work for her. Who knows? Who cares as long as it's kids?
Exactly. And the thing is that I think a lot of people lose sight of the fact that our nation was founded on slave labor, and that's how it was built. And the fact is that we've always been focused on having this worker class, that people are always working and keeping that as the 99%. And so for us to get people into the workforce as young as possible is so aligned with who we are. Yet we see so many other nations, particularly those in Europe, that are more focused on their people living and enjoying their lives and ensuring that that's what happens. And people fight for it. Yet we're brainwashed to believe that our value is only really tied to how much we work and what we do. It's really disgusting, especially since now they're ushering in these next generations of young people who should be enjoying their lives and focused on whatever their purpose is in life, not what their title is or how much their income is.
Sometimes people may argue that, sometimes these families may need their kid to work because of the financial situations that they find themselves in. So if you send out the 14-year-old to work, that's just the good old American way. I think that's a flex you maybe want to pump the brakes on, because that says more about our society and how then there's a family that needs to have their child work at 13, 14 years old, because the nature of the way that everything else is set up, from working conditions to housing to education to everything else that costs so much and is only afforded to certain people, if for people to get ahead in this country is to use their kids for work, that's not a very successful, great situation you put together for your society. I mean, unless you want your society to be, as you point out, Adrian, the working class while you benefit from it. And the people that are above all this are like, oh, I'm a genius. I've got children working for me. It's a flex that we're going to continue to buy. But hopefully, as we point out, this same next generation that has to be working at this age, at this level or allowed to be doing it at this level, we'll be seeing something different. That's all the hope we've got left, I guess, is for the kids and young adults. Let's keep it real.